You know that moment when you're trying to sleep and suddenly a conversation from 3 years ago plays in your head like a movie you didn't press play on. Something you said, something you should have said, the tone of their voice, the look on their face, and no matter how many times you tell yourself, it's over, it doesn't matter, your mind keeps replaying it anyway. Most people think this means you're anxious, or socially awkward, or stuck in the past. But psychology tells a different story. People who replay conversations aren't weak-minded. They're running a highly active internal simulation system. Your brain isn't trying to torture you. It's trying to understand. Some minds don't experience conversations as something that ends when the words stop. They experience them as data, something to analyze, refine, and store for later. Neuroscience shows that people who replay conversations have a more active prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for evaluation, learning, and future planning. Your mind treats social interactions like complex puzzles, not because you're insecure, but because you're highly aware of nuance, tone, timing, subtext, unspoken meaning. While others move on quickly, your brain asks a deeper question. What did that actually mean? This is especially common in people with high empathy and emotional intelligence. Your brain doesn't just remember what was said, it remembers how it felt. And feelings don't close neatly. They echo. That's why the replay often starts at night. When the world goes quiet, your nervous system finally has space to process what it postponed during the day. No distractions, no social performance, just unresolved moments rising to the surface. Psychologists call this post-event processing. It's your brain's attempt to update its internal social map so you can do better next time. That's the part most people miss. Replaying conversations isn't about the past, it's about the future. Your mind is rehearsing, learning, trying to reduce uncertainty the next time something similar happens. But here's where it turns painful. Because when your brain is built for depth, it doesn't always know when to stop. It replays not just to learn, but to perfect. And perfection is a moving target. So instead of extracting the lesson and letting go, you relive the moment emotionally, again, and again, and again. That's why replaying conversations often comes with self-criticism. Not because you hate yourself, but because your standards are high. You care about impact, about clarity, about not hurting others or misrepresenting yourself. Ironically, the people who replay conversations the most are usually the ones who care the most about doing right. But this same trait has a shadow side. When replaying turns into rumination, the brain stops learning and starts looping. The nervous system stays activated. The body reacts as if the conversation is still happening, even though it's long over. That's when exhaustion sets in. That's when sleep gets harder. That's when people start telling you to just let it go, not realizing your brain doesn't work that way. The truth is, your mind isn't broken. It just needs an exit. Highly reflective people don't benefit from forcing silence. They benefit from closure. Sometimes that means writing the lesson down. Sometimes it means asking, what was I actually trying to protect? Sometimes it means realizing the replay isn't about the other person at all. It's about your need to feel understood. Once the lesson is extracted, the loop loses its purpose. And here's the part that matters most. The ability to replay conversations means you have a powerful social learning system. You notice patterns. You refine your communication. You grow through reflection. But you were never meant to live inside the replay. The same mind that replays conversations can also choose when the lesson is complete. So if you're someone who replays conversations, hears echoes of old words, or mentally rewrites moments long after they've passed, you're not stuck in the past. You're wired for awareness. The key isn't to shut your mind off. It's to teach it when it's done. And once you do that, the replay turns into insight instead of noise.